You can learn something extremely important about the world by watching movies like this. And I am talking about any science fiction movie from the 1990s that takes place in the future. And note that not a single one of them would accurately predict the internet and social media, even though it was right around the corner when they made these. And this is so important because when people in the culture, whether they are experts or entertainers, when they try to show you what's coming, they can accurately predict how the technology might change. They can predict that computers will get smaller and more portable, that phones will have screens on them. But no one is ever able to accurately predict the effect a technology is going to have on the culture. For example, I don't think a single one of these films successfully predicted that one, everybody would have a device like a modern smartphone. And if they did not predict that those devices would have cameras on them. And the funny thing is, if you went back and told them that this would be a feature on these devices, they would probably say, yeah, that sounds pretty convenient. There were plenty of times, they'd say, when I'd wished I'd had a camera with me because I saw a particularly lovely sunset. And you would have to explain that no, this seemingly minor feature added to this device changes everything. It fundamentally changes how people live and how they think about their world. And we would be able to capture acts of police brutality. Or a random nobody could be caught in the stands of a baseball game stealing a home run ball from a child, and then they would instantly be world famous for doing that. Or that there would be platforms like this, like TikTok and Reels and YouTube, where random nobodies could become celebrities. Oddly enough, one of the most prescient scenes is in The Fifth Element, where they've got Chris Tucker playing basically a streamer, a guy who's just in public doing this IRL stream. And this is what I want you to keep in mind with something like AI. There are a million different predictions of what kind of impact something like this would have on society, but we know from experience that probably none of them are going to be right. Because the tech you can predict, the robots are probably going to get smarter. But how society will adjust to the presence of that tech is anybody's guess. And if you want to see the most dramatic example of this, look at Twitter. Just 10 years ago, nobody could have guessed the impact this would have on our political system and everything else.